Okay, number 97 in your homework for congruent triangles asks you to provide a column proof for proving that AD is congruent to BD. So we can do this by using properties of the rectangle. So starting with our statements and reasons. So we have first that ABCE is a rectangle and D is a midpoint of CE. So this is given. And then we can say that since ABCE is a rectangle, all of the angles, interior angles forming the rectangle, so angles A, angles E, angles B and C, are all right angles. So you can say angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle E are right angles. So this is the definition of rectangle. Also, the definition of a rectangle says that opposite sides are congruent. So we have that side AE is congruent to side BC. And this also follows the definition of a rectangle. So I'll just put that under number 2. So then for our third statement, we would have that trying to prove that angle E and angle C are congruent. We can say that angle C and angle C is congruent to angle E because all right angles are congruent because they have the same measure. They're all 90 degrees, so it must follow that they're congruent. Then for number 4, so far we've proven that we have one pair of sides that are congruent, one pair of angles that are congruent. All that's missing is another pair of angles or another pair of sides. And we can actually pull out another congruent pair of sides from the fact that D is the midpoint of CE. So by the definition of a midpoint, we could say that side ED is congruent to side DC, because if D is a midpoint of EC, then EC is perfectly bisected, so ED, the measure of ED is equal to the measure of DC, and so it follows that they're congruent. And so finally we can say that we have a side angle side triangle congruence, which means that triangles ADE and triangles BDC are congruent. And from the fact that they are congruent, we can use CPCTC in order to say that the corresponding sides AD and BD are congruent. So we've proven that AD and BD are congruent.